Antonio Ottaviani is a medic at his agency and has served as one for 8 years and as a critical care medic for 5 years. Antonio also runs a new podcast called The Line and the Oath, which just began this month, which discusses issues within law enforcement, fire, medical, and military. Antonio has a passion for discussing the best practices within the first responders industry, especially highlighting leadership struggles. This is LifeLine. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lifeline 911 with your host, Erica.
Hello.
I am your co-host, Gary, and today we are pleased to welcome Antonio Ottaviani to our show. Antonio, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on. You've recently started in the month of March of 2026 a new podcast called The Line and the Oath. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that is and what you're trying to achieve with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the line in the oath, it originates, the word the line originates from what we all do as first responders, military. We all stand on that same line when we trying to be serving others. The oath is the oath we all take to protect and serve others. And that's where the name originally originated from. The podcast itself, we like to go over storytelling mainly about leadership struggling throughout their careers and how they've overcome things. It also goes like the last couple of episodes I've done is like honor guard and the discipline it takes to do honor guard. Honor guard is a big passion of mine, so that was the first episodes I decided to hit up on. I have about a month planned out right now of some good storytelling, which I hope everybody enjoys it themselves. I would love people to also give me comments, feedback. That way I can make it more enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like a very interesting show that's going to resonate with a lot of people. I am kind of curious. So, what initially drew you to the medical field of wanting to go out and ride on an ambulance and have everyone just treat you really well all the time?
Yeah. So, honestly, I went to college in finance. That's where I actually went to college for. So I wasn't even in the medical field.
Wow.
I got a full ride scholarship to go play baseball at Wayland Baptist University. And finance, I guess I have that ADHD brain that all these first responders have. And I decided, well, this sitting at a desk all day is not for me. And it was the same repetitive thing every day, just doing finances. And I did not like it. And this was all in New York.
Wow.
I moved back to Texas to help my family kind of pack up their business that they had. And my grandmother was living with us. We had to call 911. She had something wrong with her at the time, and we take her to the hospital. I'm like, this medical stuff's kind of interesting. It looks different. I looked into like some PA stuff back a couple months ago, just because I have had interest in medical field before. Because if I want to back up a little bit, I have diabetes, so medical stuff has interested me before, and fitness has interested me, and I thought maybe this could be a way to give back. I was like, maybe I'll start with EMS, and then I can move into like a PA route. So my friend, who's actually my closest friend now, Tyler Smith, I was like, Tyler, like, how do I get into this? He introduced me to the medical director at the time, and they took this. He said, hey, we're about to have an EMR class. Why don't you just see if you like it? Took the EMR class and like fell in love immediately. So my career actually started as an EMR in this field. I did that for about 2 months, and then I took my EMT class. Again, EMT, you got to do a little bit more basic drugs than the EMR stuff. The EMR, you got to do like oxygen, CPR, very basic skills. Now, when you come a EMT basic, now you get to do things like nitro, aspirin, and the more I got involved in learning the medicine, I was like, this is really cool stuff. Now, I skipped a step going into my paramedic because in between EMT basic and paramedic is a advanced EMT. I completely skipped that step. I went to an online program called School of EMS, which is like a 10-month long program. So it's hitting it very hard, very
Wow.
quick. And then doing your clinicals on top of it. So I was working pretty much 2
Yeah.
jobs. So I barely got to see my wife at the time. And I thank God for her, because without her support, there's no way I would have been able to finish it. Got my paramedic during COVID, so that was fun. It literally got it in March, so right before everything like really shut down, I got my paramedic. So started my paramedic career, I had to deal with all the COVID stuff. Can I tell you what a nightmare that was. What a nightmare, and what a learning curve, because I think my FTO training was like a week and a half, because we were short medics, and then people were getting, well, if you tested positive, you weren't allowed to work, so now we're dropping medics. So instead of having like 10 trucks out of the street, now we only have like 4 or 5.
Wow.
So it was kind of a whirlwind getting my medic.
Yeah.
And then within a year, I was like, you know what? I want more knowledge. I want to be able to help more. And now with the paramedic, you get to do cardiac drugs. You learn how to read an EKG. You can do intubation. You can do the paralytics to help intubate people. Getting my critical care after that, it just gives you a deeper knowledge on how to use your vent, your drugs, a little bit extra advanced movements like crikes and chest tubes, things along those lines. It just gives you more knowledge. Now, as a paramedic, you could still do those things if your medical director allows you, and that's state by state type of thing. So my critical care is actually a FPC certification, which is a flight medic, because I wanted to fly, but my wife said, hell no. She won't let me on a helicopter.
She doesn't want you riding a machine that's designed to kill you every moment that you're in it.
That's correct. Okay. And to be fair, helicopters make no effing sense on how they fly. They just don't make they make no sense on how they get air and lift and all this stuff. If I've read my history right, they're not technically not supposed to fly. They just make no sense.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. But a lot of the reason why my wife didn't want me to fly is because of some of the extracurricular stuff I do, which is honor guard. But I could get into that, how I started that career a little bit later. So yeah, I became critical care medic, and since then I make sure I keep up with my schools. I just recertified, which is to recertify for your critical care is 100 hours for continuing education hours, which takes a while. But most of us know what those are. They're a nightmare. But I got them done, so now I'm recertified.
We have to do a little bit of training. I don't know. I wonder, is our training that long?
All I know is just the whole medical field itself with the CEs. My opinion, it's definitely a moneymaker, but I understand why they need you to keep on doing it, because if you don't use it, you lose it, type of thing. And in between all this mess of this stuff, because I'm an overachiever, I decided to go get another bachelor's degree. So I got a bachelor's degree in emergency management.
Okay.
And now I'm working on my master's for emergency management.
Show off.
So busy guy.
I'm gonna try hard. Yeah. With the family.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know. So in regards to get kind of starting as a medic in the middle of COVID, or rather as a paramedic. I think everybody has the sense of what their own experiences of what COVID was like in terms of like staffing shortages and new policies and procedures, but I'm sure as really a medic that's kind of where things hit hardest. And so lots of new policies and procedures, like, do we put people on ventilators? Do we not put them on ventilators? How much PPE do we need when we go in to assess somebody who might have COVID? Is it anthrax or is it the cold? Where do we, especially when nobody knew what was going on, that must have been a terrifying and confusing time.
There was some like we ran out of PPE sometimes. So sometimes you're going in with like a very used mask or something like that, and then anytime you're done with a COVID patient on a long transport or anything like that, you had to clean out your trucks with this. It's like we called it like a fog machine, and it let this fumes out into the truck to disinfect everything.
Okay.
I could see one of those commercials from 20 years from now go, if you were part of COVID and you had this certain thing, you're entitled to a lawsuit type of deal. So I'm like, I'm going to get cancer just because of the stuff we were around. It would literally eat away so you have the drawers that close on the ambulances for all your medications and stuff. Those things were eroding away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can't tell me that stuff wasn't bad for you. And we're breathing that in every day. I do have one funny story though, and from COVID. To me, it's funny because you just got to know the guy. My supervisor, Larry, who I'm close with, he's a very reserved, very quiet, very humble. He is what I want to be as a leader, just the type of person he is. It's just the way he presents himself. He doesn't curse by any means. And our truck, the air conditioner broke, and it was in July, and we're wearing all this PPE stuff, and we had back to back to back codes. By the end of the third one, they all passed away, unfortunately. The air conditioner wasn't working, and him just punching everything, F this effing truck, and just going off. To me, it's funny because Larry's a very reserved guy. So I always bring that up to him, like, hey, Larry, remember the time you just went berserk? Like, because you'll sit there and be like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to him. He's actually angry.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's stories like that, but that, again, people listening to this might not think that's funny because that's obviously PTSD, mental stuff. But that's how we're dark humor. We think that stuff's funny, which is weird, unfortunately. And we have way worse dark humor than that.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I think that so many people had, especially in first responders, had such high levels of stress all the time, but especially in that particular time period, there was so much uncertainty, anger, confusion. Like, it just has to bubble out. It has to escape somewhere, and much better punching a plastic AC console than it is a patient.
Oh yeah, my coping mechanism is food. I like to eat.
Me too.
That's why I also go to the gym. I don't get fat.
Which
food is that's my go-to. It could be like a high stress call. It could be a good outcome even, but I'll go straight to food.
Okay. So I would imagine during that time, because my mind I always go in, right, or inward. I'm thinking about what it must have felt like to go to a call where someone might have had COVID, possibly had COVID. Your PPE is used or you're out of it. I can't even wrap my head around that. What's going through your mind when you're on your way to do this call? I mean, are you thinking about the fact that I may walk out of here with COVID and not know it because it takes a minute for it to incubate and do before the symptoms begin? Was that something that was ever on your mind when you were on your way to these calls?
So to be fair, what goes through my mind through every call, not even just the COVID ones, because you don't know what you're walking into sometimes. Because I've been into some weird, hairy situations, but COVID heightened it a little bit, is my family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about them if I'm not coming home. Who's going to take care of them? That's what I worry about. Yeah, I focus on the patient, but I'm more worried about who's going to take care of my daughter, my wife, any future kids, if I don't make it back home. That's what honestly runs through my head.
Wow. And I know for me, because my discipline is PD, right? And we have calls that we get a request to assist RA from EMS, and they are they are not in danger, or it doesn't appear that they are at that moment, and then all of a sudden the next thing we get is someone's fighting the EMS person. And I don't know about a lot of people, but for me, you just, until you hear someone say it, your mind doesn't automatically go to you being in danger. I mean, in my mind, I think EMS and I think band-aids and defibrillators and stretchers, and who wants to hurt the medic? Why?
There's every situation is different. I've learned to now knock. When I knock on a door, I stand to the side because I've had a gun pointed at my face because they forgot they even called 911. So I've had situations like that. There's ones that, of course, you got the ones that are on some kind of drug that switch kind of flips and they go a little crazy on you.
That's
I'm lucky enough that I do work out and stuff, so I'm able to handle my own a little bit.
Mhm.
But there has been guys stronger than me that have thrown me across an ambulance and have gotten to some hairy situations where I'm thinking, crap, is this it type of deal?
Mhm.
Now, does it happen often? No, but it has happened.
That just, I can't even wrap my head around the fact that you could knock on the door and you have to worry about standing to the side. So I'm thinking, you don't remember you called for the medical assistance? You're at death's door. Don't hurt the person that's coming to help you. What is that?
To be fair, we learned that guy had dementia,
Mm.
so he did forget, or some type of sundowners. So yeah, we learned like situations. Yeah, they do unfortunately happen like that. You're hearing more and more deaths with EMS, unfortunately. In the recent years, it's again, you wouldn't think EMS is where people die on the line of duty, but it happens. We average anywhere from 30 to 40 a year.
That's insane. So that, I mean, that is to me a perfect entry into your honor guard work that you do. So you're, and I, sad to say, before meeting you, honestly, the thought of honor guard for EMS, no, didn't think about it. Didn't think it was
Well, it's still
necessary.
fairly new.
Is it?
Still new. I mean, again, you got to think EMS is only like 50 years old. Like we're not old by any means. We started in the 70s.
Wow.
We're not an old industry. We're fairly new. EMS and then honor guard itself is even newer for honor guard. So the way I got started into it, we had an unfortunate situation where one of our coworkers died, and they were like, I saw a message about wanting to join an honor guard. I was like, oh, I would love to. How can I be a part of this? Not knowing that you have to go through training and stuff.
Mhm.
So they had a different honor guard come in and handle our coworker, which was quite amazing, which made me want to do it even more.
Mhm.
Getting it, and again, this is a little bit more of a backstory. My whole family is military. I'm the only one who's not military because I have diabetes. So originally, before the finance degree, I tried to become a Marine. And then when they found out I had diabetes, that was quickly shut down. So this was also another way for me to kind of get into that realm
Okay.
and be somewhat a military aspect, even though it's not military.
Yeah.
Went through my training in 2022 with the Texas Honor Guard for GMR, which is Global Medical Response, also AMR, American Medical Response. And got to within 6 months, I got to go to National EMS Memorial. I got picked to go on that as one of the team members. It was it's hard to put into words, but it was an amazing experience to see this, not knowing that we had this. And I've met some amazing people through it. And after that trip, I got promoted to assistant commander. Again, still very new at this, still learning myself.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, I got asked to be a commander of a non-for-profit. I thought, yeah, I would love to. I hope people listen to me. I'm very young, but yeah, I would love to take on this role. Took it on. I built something very, very great in my opinion, and I left the Texas Guard because I didn't think it was fair to try and split my time in between both.
Yeah.
Because I was putting a lot of my time as a commander in one, and I couldn't help out with the other. So I would rather give that position up so somebody who had the time to help serve could.
Yeah.
So I gave that position up and became the commander of this EMS/fire guard. Fast forward 2 more years, I get asked to be the national commander of a fire, EMS, and law enforcement honor guard, and then put pipes and drums on top of that as well. And I'm in the process of building that. I'm not going to release who it's with yet because that's not being finalized for another week,
Oh.
but I'm allowed to talk about it. So I'm in the process of building that. Now, everybody on that other guard followed me. I said, I think you guys should still serve this guard too. You guys are more than welcome to come serve with me. But they all came and they're going to be, most of them are EMS. So they're going to be serving on the EMS division. One of the fire guys is now my new fire commander. And he'll take on the fire command side of things for me. I still have a lot of logistics I'm going through. Uniforms are still being built. Badges are still being decided on. Logos still being decided on. It's a process.
Yeah.
But I'm very fortunate I'm able to do this. But Honor Guard itself, I think it's one of the bigger passions I've ever had in my life because of what we get to do for the families. Try not get emotional because this is what it means to me. I've had a lot of giving a flag to a family member of a fallen is definitely rough.
Mm-hmm.
Giving one to a child is even worse.
Ooh.
But being able to give them that closure, to me, I think means a lot, and I hope it helps them as well. I'll try not to get too emotional because I'll start crying. I became soft since I've had my daughter.
You're a girl dad. Awesome. I got to see
I am a
her.
girl dad.
Yes, she's beautiful. She's 2 and runs your household, I'm
You
sure.
guys, unfortunately, you guys might unfortunately hear her with the babysitter across the way because I could literally hear her outside my door playing with a truck that is louder than loud right now.
And that's amazing because I hear nothing. I don't hear anything. That's awesome.
Good.
So, all right. So you have this honor guard now. It's EMS and fire. Do you do law enforcement or no?
So it's all law enforcement. It's correctional officers.
Oh, wow.
Anywhere that, so let's say a dispatcher dispatches law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go on the law enforcement division side of things. If they dispatch for EMS, they'll go on the EMS division side of things. But each division will only I'm only going to allow to have 20 members. I don't want to have the biggest guard. I want to have the most skilled guard.
Okay. So now
I want to make sure everything's done correctly because once you start getting too big, it gets a little messy.
I bet.
And things don't run properly.
So you mentioned dispatcher. So am I hearing that right? If someone is not in an actual uniform, your guard will still come, or am I what am I missing there? It sounds like that's what it sounds like.
Well, dispatchers are first responders. They are. They're literally the first line of communication.
What? Wait, hold on. I need you to say that again one more time for the people in the back. Because some people
Dispatchers
Mm-hmm.
Dispatchers are first responders. They are the first line of communication, and I have a personal relationship with dispatchers. My mother and my sister both are dispatchers in my town.
Nice.
And they honestly deal with the same situations and the same PTSD, the same stuff we deal with. If we have a bad call, they also come to the briefings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is amazing. Go, Gary.
So if a dispatcher were to pass away in a line of duty, be they police, fire, medical dispatcher, they could just eventually reach out to your organization once it kind of gets put together, and you guys would send out an honor guard to
That'd be
to be
correct.
there? Okay. I so
That'd be correct. And now this is very new because dispatchers, we, dispatchers aren't really known for dying on the line of duty, but there is
True.
situations. There was a recent FDNY guy because they're certified EMTs because there's a whole thing about them being honored at our National EMS Memorial because he was an EMT.
Mhm.
He unfortunately had a heart attack at work.
Yeah.
Now, is that past medical history or is it because he had an intense call at work? You don't really know, but I believe he does deserve those honors. He was working at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. Not everybody believes that. But in my opinion, I do believe he deserves those honors as well.
I
How
I think
interesting.
both Erica and I are in favor of that.
Yeah, I mean,
It comes down to the PSOB stuff and things like that and what defines a line of duty. That doesn't mean we won't also have a retiree funeral. We absolutely would do those as well. So say you have a long-standing dispatcher passed away, then yeah, absolutely, we could give them those honors as well. They won't get the whole like line of duty kind of funeral, but they will get honors for being a first responder.
yeah, and and it's a respect for the profession and the years that or whatever they served. If they're retired, then they served, and they served for an extended period of time because it's not like you can go into this profession and retire in 5 years. That's just not how it works. I don't even want to think about my retirement date. Moving on. I think it's amazing that there is an organization out there or in the process of being formed that regards people behind the headset. Maybe not in the same exact way, but gives them their flowers, if you will, when they have served and now they have moved on. That is, I don't know that there is another out there. I don't I don't know. Is there?
There is GMR who I was with. So they also have so GMR is very large company. They have their own dispatchers, they have their own pilots, they have all sorts of stuff. So their honor guards are built up of communications, first responders, pilots, all of
Wow.
them. Now they're the only ones I really know. Now there's other honor guards out there that could possibly be doing the same thing that I just don't know about yet. But for GMR, they give those honors as well, 100%.
Okay. See, then that's
I
something
I
learning.
could honestly GMR has given me a lot of my opportunities. I am grateful for GMR. They are their honor guard aspect, their national commander, they're top tier, and I would love to. I hope to be something like them with this new guard.
Amazing. Okay. I had no idea that dispatchers could serve on an honor guard. My wheels are turning now. Like the little hamsters going, "What?" Something else to do, some another way to serve. That is amazing. So, we have to have you back to talk about this
Absolutely.
once it's up and running. And I'm sure you'll have an episode on your own podcast when it's up and running
Oh yeah.
to talk more about it because now, I mean, wow, I'm impressed. I'm officially
I
impressed.
could tell you that my co-host is my chaplain.
What? Nice. I love a good
Yeah.
chaplain. They can be hilarious. They're not
Oh yeah. He is.
they're
So
not
he's
stuffy. They're not as stuffy as people would, you hear chaplain and you think buttoned up, stuffy with the clergy collar and they don't smile and they don't laugh and they only show up during solemn times, but that's not necessarily true.
No, I think Brandon fits it very well just because of how his personality is
Mhm.
and how he's got this new love for helping and for helping others in these type of situations because he's watched me over the last year. And he came to me one day, he's like, I think I found my calling.
That's
It's
amazing.
like, oh yeah, no, let me hear about it. And then he went into some great detail about it and how he got ordained and how he reads the Bible every day. And even in our National Honor Guard group message right now, he'll every week he'll put out a new like Bible quote
Hmm.
for us to go read and go over.
Something to get you thinking, if even if that's not,
Oh yeah,
the way that you live your life every day, and not a thing in the world wrong with that. That's
we we
awesome.
we definitely all appreciate it because we all go through hard times. We're all first responders. No one. We don't know if you had that one bad day because we're not talking to each other every day,
Right.
but we don't know if that person could have had that bad day and that one Bible verse might have helped them.
It's very true. Very true.
So, since it's still new in development, I would imagine that it's not ready to be reached out to yet if somebody were interested in trying to find these services. But um, I'm sure that on your podcast, you'll be able to in the coming weeks be able to let people know where they could reach out if they did want to have an honor guard ceremony.
Yes. So I've had actually a couple people reach out there. So we even do military ones because sometimes military isn't available because when it's a veteran that has passed away, it's usually like American Legion and things along those lines, but not every one of them have it. And they
Mm.
had trouble finding a like a veteran honor guard. So one of the other guys I've been working with another side project, he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, do you have a formed guard that you can fly out to North Carolina and help me real quick?" I was like, "Unfortunately, no. We don't even have our uniforms yet. We're in the process of getting them.
Mhm.
I have a uniform. I don't have to wear patches or anything on it. I could just go do it, but I needed at least another 2 or 3 people, and I can't ask the people on my guard to use whatever guard they're on because that represents their uh their work, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and their work doesn't allow them to go do those travels because then it's like a whole insurance thing and they can't cover them, which is understandable. That's part of the nature.
Yeah.
With this, we have insurance for travel and stuff along those lines.
Wow. Well, we have to certainly, whenever it's up and running, you just say the word and I'm sure that we can make an announcement. Hey, remember when we had this episode? We got word that that guard is up and running, and maybe post it somewhere, Gary. Couldn't we do that?
Absolutely, yeah, of course, be happy to.
Yeah. We'll need help because we have to fundraise to be able to do these travels and things along those lines. A lot of these people are buying their uniforms on their own. That's what this mission means to them. Also, with that being said, we don't only do funerals. We're not only doing sad stuff. We will do ceremonies and we do want to do some competitions with it. That way we can, because we don't always want to be sad.
Yeah,
We want to have some fun with it and build a culture.
Yeah.
weddings, bar
And
mitzvahs, all of it.
I wish we could do weddings and bar mitzvahs. That would be a good time.
Bridezilla. No,
But
thank you.
it's it's
Mm-mm.
yeah, we always it's always sad stuff, but we want to make sure we have some fun with it as well. That way because after these funerals, we also need to check on each other because they are hard.
I can't imagine.
They are very hard
Yeah.
afterwards. So we do sit down and talk to each other afterwards. But that's why we want to have some fun with it as well and do these actual ceremonies. Like one of the things we plan on doing is how the Marines have like the Marine Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want to do something like that. We want to do something like that for us with our families and have like an award ceremony
Oh, wow.
with a part of that. So that's other stuff. We also want to build like a first responder wives or a spouse division because I have females on the team too, so I can't just say wives, spouse, and have like a spouse division of it. That way, they all have their own connection with each other.
Nice.
So there's certain things I have in the works, but it takes time.
Yeah.
yeah,
It just takes time.
and a lot of dedicated effort from the people that want to try and build that dream. As you were saying, EMS is you know fairly fairly new organization, 50, 60 years old. So
That's just
you're still laying down the foundations of a lot of traditions that you'd like going forward. So you see like you know pl-
I mean,
go ahead.
it's cool. I get to still talk to some of the first generation of people and get their knowledge. Not many people get to do that.
Yeah,
Very
So
true.
I'm fortunate if I get to do that right now, but it's not gonna always be like that because now they are unfortunately reaching the age where I can't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to actually get a couple of them. Like I'm reaching out to a guy named John Moon, I believe is his name. He was the first black paramedic to intubate in Pittsburgh, I believe it was, and I want to get his story.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, yeah, but the first of anything, and then a couple of firsts, right? So that there's a lot of history there, and I'm sure he has some stories that'll probably make you quite angry, but then at the same time make you appreciate just how far we've come
Yeah.
in our ability to serve alongside each other. Because, not too many, not terribly too long ago, this would never have been a thing.
No.
To have people who look like us collaborating on something like this. So I cannot wait to hear that story if you're able to get it. That would be amazing.
Some connections, and I'm hoping it actually works out. And I think he'll be accepting to it because he's been on podcasts before. I just hopefully mine's not too new where he'll actually want to come on. Because I'm building from the ground up again, so my followers are a little limited at the moment until I build it back up.
And give it 2 weeks, it'll be fine.
As long as you have the passion for it, which I think clearly that you do and you demonstrate, then it's never a burden to have to do. It's something that that will shine through in your work.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Oh, I enjoy it. I look forward to doing my podcast weekly. It's to have some of these conversations that some people don't get to have,
Mm-hmm.
and the stories you get to hear are quite incredible. They are really incredible, and it's got given me some networking of people I've never thought I would ever get to meet.
Oh yeah, that's one of the cool things that we found about having this podcast. We got to talk to people all over the country.
Yeah. I had no idea don't we have a
Uh,
listener in Indonesia? Hi.
Yeah.
I think we have like one.
And that's quite funny because I'll start out with this. I'm obviously very big into patches and coins that you can see behind me.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
have there's a bunch above me too. I have about 200 and something, maybe close to 250 coins, and about 600 patches.
Dude.
They all have a story. They all have a story behind it. I've traded with these people, and I've got to meet these people, and the stories I have from collecting these, they're just incredible. And I can remember each and every single one of them and the story that came with it.
Wow.
And then I told that story on the podcast. I had a guy from Germany reach out to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got to talking to him, and he's got really cool stories. I'm gonna actually eventually have him on the podcast. But he's like, "Hey, man, do you want to trade?" I was like, "First, let's conversate a little bit."
Yeah.
And so I got some cool stories from him, and I want him on the podcast. And he's actually gonna be here during the 25th year of the 9/11 anniversary, and I'll be in that area at the time as well. So I'm gonna go meet him.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Germany. I wonder, do we have anybody in Germany? Hi. Just in
Possibly.
case.
Guten Tag. So, Antonio, where can people listen to your podcast if they're interested in finding a new podcast that talks about, sort of these topics in particular?
So yes, you could start with the website, the line and the oath, and the word "and" is spelled out .com, and that will send you to all the links. But it's Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Podchaser,
Nice.
and that's where you can listen to them. And then the social medias as well: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those fun outlets to see some of the clips I put out.
Okay,
Well,
the tick and the talk. I love it.
well, we will.
I'm learning the TikTok thing because I'm at that weird generational line where it's like cool but not cool. So I'm learning it.
Mhm.
It's definitely not my thing, but I've realized it's part of it to
Mm,
try and build the networking up.
okay, fine. We're trying to. Me and Gary both are just like, Oh, do we have to?
It's a lot of work.
It is. It
It is
is.
a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of
It
work.
is.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have to maybe buy my 17-year-old niece something and be like, here, manage this. She probably would. That's actually not a bad idea. She's
Uh,
poor. She doesn't have any money. If I give her $20, she'll probably be happy.
but we will definitely include a link to that website in the description down below here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it all takes time. Get your 17-year-old niece to do it. It's a big help.
That is a great
because
idea.
I'm learning. I produce it all on my own. Brandon is my, I don't even like to say co-host. He's the other host. Without him, the chemistry of the podcast would not be the same.
True.
He is very vital to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He relies on me to do all the other stuff, which I have learned over the last year.
And Gary tells me I'm the talent and he's the producer, kind of the way it is, because if he could probably get away without being on camera, he would.
Well, one of the interesting things about doing podcasting, I think, is especially for people that are in, I guess, radio, which Erica and I are, being, dispatchers, and, you are as well on your rig. When you first have your microphone and you're going to talk into it on your podcast, it's terrifying, even though that's something that you do all day, every day for your normal career.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do with your hands?
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Type of deal.
I use mine.
No,
so.
now it's just second nature to me. Now it's become very normal, and after doing it for a year, but that's how anything is. You start, everything's not perfect at the beginning, and it gets better over time. When you go back to watching your first clip to what you do now, you notice it just gets better over time.
Yeah.
That's just practice. That's all it is. And any listeners out there who want to start their own podcast, don't beat yourself over the head if it's not perfect at the beginning. It gets better over time.
Ain't that the truth? Well said.
I promise.
Well said.
Just like any other job, it comes second nature.
Well said.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Antonio, thank you so much for joining us today. We really have had a pleasure talking with you, and hopefully we can have you back again, because I think both Erica and I would love to hear more about how your podcast is going, as well as Honor Guard and all the other activities you seem to get up to. You're a busy man.
Seriously.
Yes, and I appreciate you letting me come on here. It was very fun. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And I think I can say this, if you're interested, Erica will be joining you on your podcast as well soon, right?
Oh, yeah, we're recording, and I don't know when you guys are putting this out, but when we're recording this, I'm recording her tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. And let's see.
So go listen to her on my podcast, please.
Yeah. Yes, and all of this will be there in all of my Erica-ness.
Beautiful glory.
I will bring it all. I'll bring all the things, and we'll talk about dispatchers and call takers and first responders, and from one side of the headset to the other side of the headset, and leadership in call centers and all the things. So, yeah.
Should be a great listen to. And Antonio, we wish you the best of luck on the podcast, and may it be absolutely successful. And I know it will be, because I see the amount of heart and effort that you're putting into it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Thank you, sir.
And we hope that all of you have enjoyed joining us today as well. And if you have, as Antonio said, a desire to do a podcast on anything, it's not impossible to do. Just set your mind to it and you can make it happen. And all of the first responders out there, police, fire, medical, and dispatchers and call takers, we very much appreciate you all. Until next week, I'm Gary.
I'm Erica.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about today's topic or topics you'd like to cover in the future, please reach out to us at lifeline911podcast@gmail.com. This has been a production of Lifeline 911, copyright 2026. Until next time, this is Lifeline 911 signing off.